He got a stripper GF and they make OnlyFans and have bottles of wine and champagne that cost more than I make in 2 weeks. He lives in the center of town in a high-rise penthouse that is $3K a month and he is living his best life while still smoking meth and doing nothing. I busted my ass working in the military and barely have a few grand in savings and said it was worth it because I'm in a better position than my friends back home. The illusion has been shattered and I can't help but feel this deep feeling of you don't deserve this, even though I wish the absolute best for him. This is a weird bittersweet moment in life. Might get deleted, didn't even read the rules, NSFW /. Sorry, this is long and sorry for the anonymity plus spelling mistakes in advance. English is my third language. First things first, I am 27. I was born and raised in East Africa. I have a huge extended family. On my dad's side, they are 13 of them, so you can imagine. My grandma was pretty well off. She had big house and big farm. A big farm meant many day laborer / workers. They used to come and go in the evening. Get paid some little change. She was also very kind and she also used to help some of the workers in various ways. One of the ways was give them extra food on top of their pay, etc. There was this one older lady who apparently had worked for her even before I was born. My grandma put her last-born son through school and all he had to do was help in the home. He used to stay at my grandma's house during the weekend. This guy was always very nice to my cousins and I. He was just good to us. When I was about 8,9, 10 or so, he took the niceness to the next level. Long story short, he bought some juice box or something, then lured me into his shed. He assaulted me. TBH, I really don't want to this. Shit gives me nightmares. I knew what he did was wrong because he promised to keep buying whatever candy, juice box he had. I did keep quiet. One day I saw him and my little cousin, who is a year .5 younger than me, get all friendly and I asked my cousin what happened. He admitted to me that he had lured him too. The sad thing is me and this cousin grew older and left for high school, I think. Unfortunately, like I said, we had a big family, which means I had more younger cousins. Note, homosexuality in Africa is almost a taboo. I think things are changing slowly now. Not sure though. We never talked about this ever. We are in high school and one of my uncle told him to go to his city and work for him. My uncle was super rich. He had businesses and all that. He later went on to politics, but I digress. About a year or so, I hear a story that some people are looking for him. At this point let's call him Bob. He was caught assaulting some boys in the neighborhood. One of them had admitted to his parents after they suspected something. In my home country, the police work a bit differently due to corruption. But somehow Bob fled that part of the country, and that's the last I heard of him. Fast forward greater than my immediate family and I moved to the diaspora, won't say where, and all of a sudden things have changed in our favor. More opportunities and money is looking nice and all. I work hard, so you know. Early 2010s I go to visit home almost after a decade. I got to my little hometown and guess who the fuck shows up? BTW. When you go overseas and go back home, it's a big deal. You are a big fucking deal. Everyone thinks you will leave some euros or dollars, lol. This Nitka sees me and he approaches me like nothing ever happened. I had forgotten all he did to me and my cousin till this very minute. Something in me snapped. I looked at him and when he shook my hand, I swear I do not know how I never jumped on his neck to kill him. I called my cousin and reminded him of that. He really played it out and said he does not remember. I reminded him that we still have young children at home and there is a predator who after all these years is still on the loose. I have a good job and I actually make good money, so money is not an issue. I just told him we need to get him castrated. BTW, in my little town back home, that's what is done to rapists. But it kind applies to men who are / women. What he had done to us was unheard of and to many, it does not exist. Most of the kids I went to school with are poor unfortunately and make less than £5 a day. So if you show them more than 1,000, they will be willing to do just about anything. One of them became what is equivalent to one of those traffic cops here. He has a weapon and authority, but rarely he uses that weapon. The police are some of the most corrupt people in Africa. I told him my story and guess what, he was a victim too. I told him to detail whatever he had TP, but make sure that man, now in his 40s, is literally fucked. I gave him $500 and promised another significant amount which I would bring myself. I went back to my country of adoption, and a few months later, my cousin sends me a video of what we call mob justice in my home country. The video shows a man being ruthlessly beaten by villagers with clubs, rocks and such. The story goes that he had attempted to lure a local chief officer's kid and his friends to doing the nasty. Before they turned him in, they castrated that nasty man. A year or so, I visited back home and my former classmate told me to buy him tea. Lol. Trust me when I say I bought him a lot of tea. There was no evidence as the man was not caught in the act. He was charged with various other shit, but he got out because he is now insane. He is the town madman. It does not take away what he did to us, and the worst part is I ran after he did that to me as me thinking that this is normal. Last year I went home for Christmas and I saw him. Stared in his eyes and told him I paid people to do that to him. That's literally the best $1,000 I have ever paid. I have a family of my own now and I have no regrets. This fool walks around with a Gap-B2 in his thighs and eats from trash cans because of it. Grammar, spelling mistakes. I'm taking my middle daughter on a trip to Mallorca this summer, as well as Greece and Italy for a few days each. It will be just the two of us. My ex-wife and my 2 other children will be staying home, as the trip is a graduation gift. My daughter has twice now mentioned topless beaches, once to ask if they had them on the island and a second time to mention wanting to try one. I guess I am posting here partly to share and partly to ask for advice. I have no moral issue with topless beaches. But I am a little worried about the optics, with it being a father-daughter trip, as well as what my ex-wife would think. I'm also unsure about the vibe on these beaches, a party vibe versus something more serene, and how to factor them in. Does anyone on here have any advice or any thoughts? I'm unsure whether I should let her go for it, or err on the side of caution. I know it sounds bad, but my family is a bunch of drug addicts, pills mainly, and I know that they're going to ask me to get them some and never pay me back. They've done this all my life. I'm 19, and about to go to college, and I want to be able to have a clean slate and just live. It's enough for me to live peacefully without working for the next couple of years, if I owe, so please, I still am going to work, though, because I have finance anxiety, lol, and I know they're going to be upset when I tell them. They've been abusive since I was young, and a part of me just wants to slowly cut contact once I move, but I don't know. It's stressful being here with them and gray blocking them about how much I have. I'm going to get a hotel though, just in case, cause I don't wanna risk it. I know I'm gonna get a bunch of hate for saying this from all the patriots and Trumpies, and I'm fine with that. You're allowed though, feel however you feel about it. I just need to say it. Just to give an idea of why I'm scared, I'm an openly queer individual who lives in a state known for its homophobia. Matthew Shepard was killed a short drive from where I live. With Roe vs. Wade overturned, they could overturn so many other things. Not only could I lose my rights, but you can bet that homophobia and hate crimes are only gonna get worse if they overturn pro-LGBTQ rights. The thing that's so infuriating is that this is nowhere close to what America is supposed to be. What does land of the free and the home of the brave really mean? Does it mean having our right to choose taken away? If you don't want to get an abortion, don't get an abortion. If you don't want to marry the same sex, don't marry the same sex. You're allowed to have your own thoughts and choices, but to force it on other people who live in a country based off the very idea of freedom? What a goddamn joke. So, I've heard Norway's a good country? Edit, wasn't too serious about that Norway part, meant it more as a joke, but thanks for your guys' inputs. So many people say that it's transphobic to not want to date trans people because it means you're not fully accepting them for who they identify as. But here's the thing, I'm lesbian, not pansexual. I don't believe I'm transphobic. I accept trans people for who they are and I will gladly go help to fight for their rights. But I think for someone to call me transphobic for being a lesbian and not wanting to date someone with a dick is ridiculous. And apparently preferring to date trans women who have fully transitioned rather than those who haven't is also transphobic, so I just stay away from dating trans people on the whole. Edit: a lot of people are berating me and saying that it's stupid that I posted this. But the sub is called Confessions and I'm confessing something that I thought was controversial. It may seem insignificant to you, and if it does, just move on to another post. If the mods think it's okay, then it's fine.